good morning, and welcome to The Insider. We are so excited to have you here. It is going to be a great day. My name is James Dennis, and I am excited to have you here. And to my right, the lovely... Where's Hope? Wait. I'm getting news that we have some breaking news about Hope. Hang on, we're going to go to our field reporter in the field. Okay, take it away.
Hello, Insiders. It is so good to be here. My name is Hope Solomon, for those of you who do not know me. I actually used to be a co-host at the Invo Insider and used to work there. But as you can see, I am now in a new studio, and that is because I have transitioned to a new job at the company Convoy of Hope. Let me show you around a little bit. Pretty cool, right? Love getting to work here. But what is it exactly that we do? Well, I'm really glad that you asked. So Convoy of Hope is a global humanitarian organization where our true goal is to bring hope to the hopeless. So what does that look like? Well, you've probably heard or maybe heard of us through our disaster services, but we do so much more than that as well. Disaster services, we are the first one to be there. That is one of our goals, is to be there, but also stay. We don't want to leave after the cameras leave. We want to be able there long term to be able to support the communities that are struggling. But across the world, we are also feeding children every single school day. We're feeding over 639,000 kids every single school day, and our goal is to hit 1 million by 2030. We're also empowering women to be able to have their own jobs, to be able to support their families, and training them, giving them education. We're also training farmers in agriculture so that they're able to create food and make food and be able to be sustainable, food sustainable on their own. That way they're not reliant on companies like Convoy of Hope. And then lastly, we're not just across the world, we're also in our own backyard, helping our communities, whether that's through a tornado outbreak that they're going through, or maybe they're struggling with food, not being able to be fed. We are there. We are one of their partners in their backyard, able to support them. So I know I talked a little bit about that, but here's a video to show you a little bit more about what Convoy of Hope does.
Together with Convoy, we are making hope happen. How? In 300 million different ways. When children are fed nutritious meals, the cycles of hunger and poverty are broken. That's why Convoy feeds hundreds of thousands of children every school day in nations across the world. Empowering women and girls creates opportunities that lasts for generations. That's why Convoy partners with women as they start their own business and support their families. The best solutions are grown at home. With Convoy's training and resources, local farmers create sustainable futures for themselves and everyone around them. During times of disaster, Convoy responds to make sure people know there is hope in every storm. With more than 40 million Americans living under the poverty line and 1 in 5 children in the U.S. going to bed hungry, Convoy is committed to meeting the pressing needs of families and communities across the country. Hope and the transformation it brings can't happen without you. Partner with Convoy of Hope in bringing life-giving change to people and communities around the world.
Okay, so now that you know a little bit more about Convoy of Hope, maybe your next question is, how do I get involved? Well, let me tell you about how you can get involved and where you can come in. I believe that banks and credit unions have a unique ability to impact their community. You have the power to do good and to thrive throughout your community. And so people are noticing whether or not their bank or credit union or company that they're going to do business with is wanting to do good across the world. So let me read you a few stats so that you can hear that. 66% of consumers say a company's purpose matters in their purchase decisions. 77% are more likely to support businesses that are trying to make the world better. And 90% of employees at purpose-driven companies say they're more motivated and loyal. Convoy makes it super easy to bring purpose to your workplace. There's a lot of different ways that you can get involved with Convoy, but I'm just going to hit on a few for right now. So the first would be a hands-on volunteer experience, and the second would be a one-day campaign. So the first with that volunteer experience would be where your bank or credit union could either come to Convoy of Hope and help with one of our Hope Crew nights. And that's on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and that's our volunteer nights. It's super fun. You get involved, we have a great time, and lots of laughter involved. The second way is actually when we would come out to your bank or credit union, and we would actually have an all-day event, maybe a few-hour event, whatever you would choose to do. We actually have quite a few companies who will make it an event for the entire community. So they'll have bouncy houses for the kids, face painting, they'll have food trucks lined out, and then their community can come through, they'll bag a few groceries, and then they'll have fun and make it a really great community event while also serving such a great purpose. The second way is through a one-day campaign. So whether your financial institution has a heart for children's feeding, or maybe just general giving to everything, or maybe women's empowerment, what we do is we help you with that one-day campaign. So it's leading up to that one day where you would offer that, whether that's to your members or your customers and your employees, maybe it's just an employee campaign, whatever it may be, we would help you with that as well. We have collateral, so that's videos and stories and one-sheets, maybe about a woman in Africa and how we helped her start her business and it got her feet on the ground, and she's able to support her family. Or children's feeding, whatever it may be, we would help you with that one-day event, and we can get creative. So we will collaborate with you and figure out a way that works for your financial institution. All of that to say, I'm super excited to be able to collaborate with all of you. So if you have any questions, or if you would like to be a part of Convoy of Hope and the mission that we're serving, I'd love to hear from you. So my contact information should be in the show notes. But if you do have any questions, would like to be a part, or just catch up and grab some coffee, I'm down for any of that. All that to say, thanks for letting me pop in. It was great. I hope you guys have a great rest of the Insider, and I'm going to send it back to James in Studio A. Bye, everybody.
I really don't know what to do. I mean, I really need a co-host. I mean, I don't know. I just, wait. What in the world is happening? What is going on? Hey guys! I heard that there might be an opening at the Insider. Yeah! I don't know.
I'm super pumped about this.
I don't. Well, you've got the hair.
I do.
But it's a little much. I don't like the fact that you're posing.
Is this too much?
It's a little too much.
Okay, I thought this was an area of fun.
It is.
But not.
You might be overdoing it just
Okay.
a little.
Give me 1 second, Insiders. Hold on.
What is going on? There.
How about now?
That's
Is this
much
good?
better. That's much better.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Man,
You came out with that much hair. It really actually kind of scared me.
I don't even know what to do with that. That's
Yeah,
great.
I don't know. Congratulations so much to Hope and her new role. We desperately miss you. But we are excited to see all that you are doing at Convoy of You. So
Yes.
we really appreciate you and we miss you dearly. And so, but best of luck. We are going to have to proceed as planned. And you're looking apparently at the new dream team of the Invo Insider. So,
Yes.
welcome to this month's Insider. We are excited to have you here. Please tell me there's an agenda.
I think so. I think so.
really-
Yeah. So the first thing up is we're going to hear from your fearless leader, Jake Martin. We're going to hear a great interview from AMOCO Federal Credit Union about how they're using the Invo platform. You get to hear from yours truly and James about a nice demo. And also, don't forget about the Kahoot.
Yes.
I think we're still doing that, right? We're
Yes,
still,
we are. So at the end of this, we are going to actually give away a beautiful Yeti cooler. So make sure that you pay attention, because the way that you're going to win that Yeti cooler is through a little game we like to call Kahoot.
Yes.
So make sure that you're paying attention. Make sure that you're listening, because we are going to be playing Kahoot. And if you have never played Kahoot with us, it's all about how fast and how quickly you can answer a bunch of questions.
Yes.
So On the screen, you will see a beautiful blue screen that says Kahoot. It's going to have a pin and a QR code. So if you want to play along, make sure that you play along. You can go to www.kahoot.it, or if you want to, you can actually go out and download the app.
The app might be faster.
It might be faster.
We've heard.
We've been told. However,
Yeah.
if you don't get the right answer, it doesn't matter how fast you are. So
That's
make sure that you
yes.
are correct, make sure you are fast, and make sure you have a good time with this.
Those are
because
the three rules.
Those are the 3 rules. So make sure that you have some fun with this. Tiny James. I don't know who that is.
I don't know
but
if that's nice or I feel
really
good about that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I look really. Oh my gosh, Raider Hog's back.
New
Bald Hope. Wow.
Wow.
I'm not sure which is worse, Tiny James or New
I
Bald Hope.
appreciate that.
So, all right, we're going to give you just a few more seconds to get logged in here, and we are going to get this party started. So hopefully you are paying attention, because ultimately this first Kahoot is all about our beloved Hope and where she is now. So hopefully you are paying attention, because we absolutely love her, we miss her, and we're trying to figure out if anybody actually paid attention to what she was saying. Absolutely. Maybe everybody just listens to me, even when she was here.
We can go with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I mean,
mean,
she can't
probably
defend herself,
not,
so I think
probably.
we can go with that. Yeah.
Yep. All right. All right. We have a lot of people in here.
Yeah, I love this.
30
Yeah, let's
people.
go.
Let's go. All right.
right.
You want to give it 5 more seconds?
5,
4,
3,
2,
1,
go.
go.
All right. Our first questions, like I said, are all about Hope. So, question number 1, what company is Hope now working for?
I think the name of this company was probably said 48 times. in that
48
video.
times.
So
Was
if
it?
you don't know,
It's the Voyage of Andrew. I
Yes.
think it's the Voyage of Andrew. Message of Hope, Convoy
Yeah.
of James. I kind of like the
Convoy of James, that seems like a scary proposition.
That's,
A lot of
you
James.
have no idea.
Oh, great job.
Good job. 28 people were listening.
Who was fastest though?
Oh, Sonia. Well done, Sonia.
Nice.
Nice job. Question number 2. How many children does Convoy of Hope feed each school day? Only 2.
Only 2 is if the children are my size.
1
I
million.
mean, I don't know. Like
636,000 or 639,000?
those are relatively close.
I'm going to go with 2.
yeah.
They feed
2
at least 2. At least 2. Is this kind of like if you go low? it's
Maybe.
still-
Yeah. I don't know.
just
If
don't
it's,
go
I don't
over?
think it's like that.
Oh,
no.
okay. 18 people got it right.
Nice.
639,000 people
lot
are
of
fed by
kiddos a day.
Convoy.
Oh, right.
Nice job. Nice job. Oh my gosh, Raider Hawk. All right, here we go. Next question. All right. What is Hope's new studio called? Did you catch it?
This was subtle.
This was subtle.
I
The
also-
Studio of Hope?
We might be sending her a cease and desist because
Yes.
she stole this directly from us, I
Yes.
believe.
The Red Brick Palace. I kind of like that.
That's, yeah.
Architect coffee shop.
I don't know what word you just said.
I don't
architect,
either.
But yeah.
That's a beautiful coffee shop.
It is
All
Studio
right.
A. Yes.
Studio A. So she was performing from
Yes.
the
new bowl.
knockoff Studio A.
Yeah, not the original.
Yeah, this is the original. Convoy of Hope's true goal is to bring hope to the hopeful? Is that true?
Yeah, that's a question at the end.
Yeah, hopeful? Or is it something else?
Is it something else?
Is it, do you bring hope to the hopeful?
We might be giving you a hint.
Yeah. Or is it hopeless?
We are we are hopeless.
You definitely,
for sure.
yes, absolutely. We're off the rails. What are we going to do with this?
Yeah, we tricked you there, I
We
think.
tricked you.
Yeah.
Whoever made up that question needs to be slapped.
But not the bald hope. That's
Not
for,
the bald hope.
That's for sure.
They got it. All right, good job.
Good job.
Final question. How much do we miss Hope?
This might be a little bit of a
Maybe a little. It's nice to
sad.
see her again.
It's nice to
Life will never be the same. Or all of the above. Which is it going to be?
all of the above.
All of the above. We absolutely miss Hope. We cannot say that enough, but we are very excited for her in her new role.
Absolutely.
So, before I get too emotional,
Yeah.
I think we need to send it over to our fearless leader. I believe he's got some great updates for us in terms of all the things that are going on here at Invo. I think he's even going to introduce our next
Yes.
interview. What do you think?
Yes.
Should we send it over to him?
Absolutely.
Without further ado,
Back to you, Jake.
go.
June edition of the Invo Insider. What a great day we've already had. Big thanks to James and Andrew for getting this day started off on the right foot. It was also wonderful to hear from Hope as she embarks on a new chapter of her career, but also I thought it was a great opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about Convoy of Hope, their mission, and how you and your financial institution can get involved and bring your community together to serve others. I just think it's fantastic. So whether you're turning or tuning in from your personal office, a meeting room with your coworkers, or in the corner of the Starbucks, hey, no judgment there. I want to thank you for joining us. We've got an action-packed episode for you today, so let's just jump right in. Hey, first up, I want to celebrate Team Invo. That's the group inside of headquarters here. The group's been busy, absolutely blowing the doors off of projects and goals in 2025. Not only are we seeing significant expansion and use of our platform, that's all of you, but the development team at Invo is cooking up some serious surprises that we cannot wait to announce this year. It's kind of hard to keep the wraps on everything that's coming, but I know you're going to want to stick around and find out more. To all of our new clients here for the first time, thank you for being here. The Insider is our favorite way, outside of the summit, of course, to share new things, and I appreciate you making the time to join us. So let's talk a little bit about today. You're in for a real treat as we have our friends from AMOCO Federal Credit Union joining us. A client that deployed our solutions way back in 2020 and has continued to pioneer change in their member service channels through innovation using various Invo products along the way. Today, you'll hear about how AMOCO has expanded their digital services through personal touch using our video banking tools. You'll also find out how they've recently opened a new branch with 75% less staff than their standard model using Invo tools. You'll also find out how they're using our survey feedback tool to gather intelligence, information, and live responses from their membership base about the experiences in video banking and making sure that those positive feedback scores are affirming the decision to deploy these strategies. You'll also hear about the powerful ability to start interaction in a branch, transition that into video banking engagement, and then potentially even complete that remotely with the same staff and the same level of service, potentially even better service through the expansion and use of these tools. Lastly, and this is my favorite quote, the ability to empower your existing staff and focus on personalized services, not just the workflow of traditional banking, but that individual, unique member experience and how these channels can empower that within your financial institution. So my hope is that when you leave the Insider today, that you possess a much better understanding of what is possible with the power of the Invo platform. So whether you're an existing client, thank you for being here. You're a new client, we're so excited to tell you more, or a strategic partner just here to learn more about what's possible. We hope that today stokes some creativity fires for you. So thanks for being here. I hope you have fun today. Good luck on winning that Yeti cooler through the Kahoots, but there's only one thing left to do, and we're gonna send it right over to Andrew and the great team from AMOCO Federal Credit Union.
Hello, Invo Insiders. We're so excited to have Crystal and Courtney from AMOCO Federal Credit Union, based out of Texas, with us today. AMOCO has been working with Invo for over 5 years now and has over 11 branch locations and is continuing to grow. Our partnership is built on improving efficiency, continued trust, and persistent growth. Now, Invo Solutions looks forward to the continued partnership with AMOCO and our pursuit of, in their own words, the unicorn, which would be an all-in-one platform solution for all of their needs. Now, Crystal, why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself and give us and our Insider guests a glimpse into your background.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We're excited to be with y'all today. Again, my name is Crystal Olhak. I am Vice President of Operations for AMOCO Federal Credit Union. And a little bit about me, I've been in the credit union industry for over 20 years. And within that time, I've served in several different roles within operations. So anything from the teller line to lobby assistants, moving into management, and now to my current role. where I support our branch staff still, our contact center, and our video banking team.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for letting us know a little bit more about that. And let's go ahead and jump into some of the questions that we have for you.
Okay.
So what caused AMOCO to actually consider Invo solutions?
Yeah, so we actually partnered with Invo back in 2020. And as we all remember, that was during COVID. And so at that time, our leadership team was looking for a solution to still be able to engage with our members. We didn't want to lose that opportunity. And so through research, we found y'all as a great partnership and we introduced it right then and there. And so now fast forward and we've continued to evolve what that service looks like.
Absolutely. And during that evaluation process, what was it compared to like other vendors or other potential solutions? How did that process work out and how did that go?
Yeah, well, during COVID with social distancing, we knew that we wanted to expand our digital services. And so the opportunity to introduce video calls was a huge win for us. But in addition to that, y'all also offered a solution for kiosk services. And from there, again, it's just developed from a staffing efficiency where we've continued to evolve what that looks like in our day-to-day operations.
And in regards to that staffing efficiency, could you elaborate a little bit more? What does that actually look like and mean when you say staffing efficiency? Is that less people in your branches, more people in your operations? What does that look like?
Absolutely. So one of my biggest testimonials that I can share with you all is that we recently added a brand new branch in our Magnolia Creek community that was near the end of March. And in the past, we've staffed some of our branches, our busiest one, with maybe 20 employees to make sure that we could serve every member for any need that they come in for. And now through y'all's partnership and with y'all's kiosks, we actually opened our newest location with 5 employees, and it's not sacrificing member experience. Those wait times are still reduced, and we're able to provide a work-life balance for our employees as they step away for PTO. We have that kiosk service ready and willing to serve our members.
That is amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. So that's a new branch strategy, which is exciting and really good to be able to go out into different markets. With your current branch strategy, has it in fact impacted that as well?
Yeah, so our legacy branch is our very first branch out in the Texas City area. It's actually under construction. And because Magnolia Creek was such a success in creating that more efficient workflow and model, we are now keeping that in mind as we're redesigning our Texas City and our existing branches.
That's fantastic. Now, we always get a question though, when every time we end up talking with a prospect or even current client, sometimes it's how is your membership going to react to how we implement certain things or how new technology is used and to bridge that kind of gap, especially on the efficiency side. So what were the initial responses from your current membership and potentially your future membership?
Yeah. One of the biggest things for AMOCO is that we strive to be our members' financial partner and relationship. And so in order to do that, we know that that looks different from one member to the next. And so this has allowed us to add even more ways to interact based off of what they prefer that banking experience to look like. And so from the beginning, because it happened during COVID, it created such a wonderful opportunity for us to keep that engagement. And then as we reopened following it, we were very intentional about working with our team and making sure that we kept that member engagement going, even with reopening our doors. And we've been successful in helping our members continue to see the benefit of this and even grow our web and mobile calls from there too.
That's awesome. Fantastic. So now we've talked a little bit about how your membership is reacting to it, maybe how some of your branches have changed their strategies. But of course, how did your staff respond to this new technology, this new platform, new implementation, all of those things?
Yeah, they were really excited when we shared the concept with them initially. It was such a forward thinking and like digital strategy that I think that they wanted to help as much as possible naturally because it's a brand new service and it's changed. People are a little nervous, especially because we saw the opportunity to pull from within our current branch staff to create this new video banking department. And so some of the managers were like, this sounds really great. but you're taking my team member. What do I do? And so it was a lot of trusting the concept and seeing it unfold from there.
Trust the process. That's a big thing here, and I know with all of our clients, that's a huge thing with implementing new technology. So I understand how that happens. So, were there any specific when you first launched this? I know 2020 was the time we don't like to talk about, but were there any specific problems or inefficiencies, maybe after 2020 or even during 2020, that you were hoping that Invo would solve? And what was the result of that? And maybe were there some surprises along the way?
So one of the things that helped us solve is really that member wait time and that staffing efficiency. We try our best to always plan for what traffic is going to look like, especially at our different locations. Sometimes one branch is a lot busier than some of our other locations, but you have that call out, you have that person on PTO, you have that planned training, and you don't want any disruption to any part of the operation or the member experience. So this has really helped us continue to be ahead of the curve and making sure that we're meeting our members' expectations and our own internally. But one of the other things that I would highlight too, the longer that we've worked with y'all, is fraud is always present. It's always evolving. And so one of the great things that we've started to really be even more intentional about is if we ever feel like we're in doubt that we are working with our member, let's take it one step further. Let's start a video call. Let's be sure that we verify them, and that way we can continue to help them with whatever they reached out to us for.
I understand how that is. And yes, we're always hearing more and more feedback around how the ease of jumping on a video call is actually reducing that fraud layer a little bit, where it's actually like it's instead of having such a long distance away from it or feeling so far away from it, we actually bring it really close. So that's really good to hear. So internally, do you have any kind of KPIs or goals that are actually tied to Invo? And are those short-term goals, long-term goals? What are those? Kind of how are they evolving within the Invo platform usage?
Yeah, the best way that I could say that is our member wait time, just making sure that they are not staying and sitting in the lobby for far too long. One of the really cool things that we've continued to grow throughout this journey with y'all is we've now reached 16 flex offices. And I really want to describe what that looks like for us internally. We started with a traditional kiosk model, but as we've continued to grow and introduce new branches, we saw the possibility of having an office where our team members can plug in at any time, work from it on a regular basis. But when they're not there, we can actually flip it into a kiosk as conveniently as we need it to be. So whether they're at lunch, on PTO, or out, it doesn't stop. And so those wait times have gone down significantly across all of our channels.
That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. I know we have at least 2 or 3 other clients that are utilizing flex spaces in that same way. And we're hearing nothing but good things on that, which is just an innovative way of using spaces and branches. So we're always excited about hearing about that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's shift a little bit gears here. Now, this is mainly operations, and we asked about kind of how members actually responded to the initial rollout of this, but let's actually dive a little bit deeper into how the members are utilizing and how they feel about the Invo platform. So how do you feel like Invo has solved problems, or what member problems have they solved the most efficient way?
It goes back to that having our members be able to select their preferred banking experience. So whether that's in person, whether that's digitally through a web or video call, or if they're comfortable going into a kiosk setting, they get to tell us how they want to engage with us. And so that's been a huge benefit for our members since we serve such a wide variety within each of our communities.
That's fantastic. And I know you said that they adopted it pretty quickly, but how did you deal with, there's always some hesitancies from some membership. So how did you deal with that hesitancy? What was the kind of the marketing, or what was the kind of the operational kind of overhaul or push to actually get more membership to use the Invo platform?
Yeah, so when we first kicked off video banking, we did kind of like a meet and greet of our videos of our virtual team. We wanted to make sure that our members knew that they were still working with that same team member that they were so accustomed to visiting with in a traditional branch setting. Because again, we just pulled directly from our branch staff to create this new team. And that way, no matter where you're at, you remember who Courtney is. If you want to work with her, you can. And so it was a little bit of trusting that process with the members too, just like our team, and walking them through, giving them a tour of that virtual office, hanging out in the wings in case they needed us, and then still offering that in-person option just in case it's not the right fit for them. No worries. We are still here to take care of you.
That's awesome. And so we've talked about this a little bit. You've mentioned it, how, your membership can actually bank the way they want to bank. They can meet you where you are and all these different things. Have you had any measurables of like member experience improvements or maybe wait times going down? Do you have those numbers where you can share kind of how that experience has actually improved?
Yeah, so we actually use the survey feature built into the Invo platform, and we mix up those questions from time to time to make sure that we continue to keep a really good pulse on what that experience looks like. And as time has gone on, those have not teetered down very far at all. It stays in the high 4s for all of our member interactions with video banking. And so that's what allows us to keep a really good pulse on things.
That's fantastic. And then lastly, kind of to wrap up, what part of the new experience did members find most valuable or convenient when actually integrating or using the Invo Solutions platform?
Yeah, the video calls. We are in the Galveston County area. We are growing every day. And so as people are out on vacation, or if you started in this local community and then your life has taken you on a new journey and you've moved out of our servicing area, you can still continue to service your banking needs while on the go or in a different area.
So my name's Courtney Hilberth. I've been with AMOCO Federal Credit Union for about 8 years now, 4 of which I've served as the video banking manager. So in my job role, I work pretty closely with our branch teams to ensure seamless operations, implement virtual solutions that enhance both member experience and employee efficiency.
Awesome. That's fantastic. And I know some background around AMOCO. I know that you guys first started working with Invo Solutions through the 2020 and during COVID. But what was your first thought when you heard that AMOCO was planning to go work with Invo?
Definitely. So like you said, 2020, it's been a while now, but I would say my initial thought was that it was a very forward-thinking move. It was clear that AMOCO is committed to leveraging that technology in order to streamline member interactions and to modernize our service delivery.
Awesome. So with the Invo platform though, how have you as an AMOCO changed your branches to actually fit within the Invo solution and the Invo solution fitting within your branches?
Sure. So Invo has brought more structure and visibility to our operations. First and foremost, it's improved how we manage member flow. It's reduced those wait times, and it's allowed our staff to focus on a more personalized service.
Okay. Now, you also mentioned some of your staff and stuff like that. So how did the employees at those branches adjust to Invo actually being used as a solution?
Yeah, I would say, as anything, there was a short adjustment period, but overall, our employees adapted quickly. I think once they saw how Invo made their day-to-day tasks easier, they became strong advocates for the platform.
Okay, now I'm going to ask the hard question here. I know you said they adopted it eventually, but were they more excited or were they more hesitant when they first saw the platform and started using it?
Sure. So initially, I would say there was a mix with some hesitation due to the change, but ultimately, I think it was a lot of excitement about the potential improvements. So once employees experienced the benefits firsthand, excitement took over.
Fantastic. And how was that training process, that implementation and things like that? How did that go? Was that more of a train the trainer and then we all got into it? Or was that more of a hands-on approach from Invo? How was that?
Yeah, so the training was definitely, like you said, hands-on and collaborative. We made sure each team member had that support that they needed, with both in-person guidance and some follow-up resources to help build their confidence in using the platform.
That's awesome. We're always excited to hear how the agents behind the scenes are utilizing it and how they're excited about using it. But we also know that the membership needs to also be excited about it and be able to use it in an intuitive way and be able to have not very many barriers. So how did the membership initially react to video banking and the kiosks and things like that?
Yeah. Some members were curious and excited about the new technology, of course. Others were a bit unsure, I would say, especially those who were accustomed to that traditional face-to-face service. But once they experienced how personal, secure, and convenient video banking could be, I would say many quickly embraced it. And we even began seeing members request video banking for future visits.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. So have there been specific needs that have been solved by Invo with this, like through strategic planning or through your membership branches strategy and things like that? Are there specific needs that have been felt and actually answered by Invo?
Yeah, definitely. Invo has addressed those key felt needs like reducing wait times, improving privacy during transactions, and just offering more flexible service options. It created a more efficient and comfortable experience for both members and our employees too.
Awesome. And I know there's always a little bit of hesitancy to adopt sometimes these technology improvements and things like that. But were your membership hesitant to actually adopt it, or were they pretty quick? How did that work?
Yeah, so initially, just due to the unfamiliarity with video banking or just concerns about the personal interaction, I would say there was a little bit of hesitancy. However, many quickly adopted it once they saw how easy it was to use and how it provided that positive service experience.
Good. Now, during that process, during that hesitancy, during that kind of that transition period, I guess you could say, how are you actually able to build trust with your members on how this is? Now, we can throw things out like how it's secure, it's easy, and things like that. But when the rubber hits the road, we actually need to be able to do those things. So how was AMOCO able to use the Invo platform and build that trust?
Sure. So we built trust by being present, right? Offering guidance, answering questions, and just ensuring each interaction felt personal and secure. Seeing the same friendly AMOCO faces on screen has definitely helped reinforce that familiarity and that comfort.
Yeah, that's why they don't ask me to be on the screen, because I'm not that good. So what part of that experience though? So let's say the whole timeline is, it's hesitancy to adopt. Now they're adopting it. They're looking for trust. You provide that trust. What part of the new experience did members actually feel was the most valuable?
Right. So members appreciated the speed, privacy, and consistent access to those knowledgeable staff without those long wait times. The ability to handle complex transactions quickly stood out as a major benefit.
Awesome. Do you have any specific stories about how members, their visits went smoother or better because of the platform?
Yeah, of course. I have several, but one that stands out. It was a member who was out of town and they needed urgent support on their account. Of course, unable to visit a branch, they were able to access Invo's mobile web channel. And so we were able to visually verify their identity and walk them through the necessary steps, all through the convenience of their cell phone. That process, it was secure, efficient, and it handled in real time, which gave that member peace of mind. And then it reinforced the value of having access to support anytime, anywhere.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Absolutely love that. We're telling that story all over the place. Has Invo's platform made your job easier or changed how you lead your team?
Absolutely. So Invo's made it easier to manage branch operations with more clarity and real-time insights. It's also shifted how I lead, where I can focus more on coaching my team around digital engagement and efficiency, rather than just traditional and in-person service metrics.
So with that, with all of that efficiency that you got, and you're changing the way that you're managing, what stands out as the biggest win for this process for you and your team?
Yeah, I would say how it enhanced both member and employee experience. So members are served more quickly and conveniently, and employees feel more supported and empowered. So I'd say it's definitely been a win-win.
Great. And then lastly, we're going to ask for a shout out here. What would you tell other branch managers who are hesitant to implement Invo or something like this in the future?
Yeah, I'd say give it a chance. We know that change can be uncomfortable at first, but the long-term benefits are undeniable. Invo hasn't replaced personal service, it enhances it. So you'll find your team more adaptable than you think, and your members more appreciative than you can expect.
Fantastic. Courtney, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being a partner with us, and thank you so much for utilizing the Invo Solutions platform in ways that we never thought possible, and to better impact your community and your financial institution.
Thanks again, Andrew.
I want to thank Courtney and Crystal for their time and insights into the AMOCO operations and member experience within the Invo platform. Thank you, insiders, and back to you, James, and me.
All right, thank you so much. We really appreciate our friends at AMOCO. How'd you change clothes so fast?
I don't know.
Or did you just take your jacket off?
It's probably down there with my hair somewhere.
Somewhere down there? Who knows what's going on? I don't know. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed that interview. It's amazing. You did a good job.
Thank you.
I was going to say, I didn't know that you could do that.
I still don't.
It was awesome. So now let's find out if anybody actually listened to you.
Absolutely.
Because there was so much good information in there. We actually want to make sure that you caught it all. So as we bring the Kahoot back up, we are going to see if the new Bald Hope can keep that top spot.
Yes.
We'll see what happens, and we are going to jump right in. This Kahoot is all about the interview. Maybe about Jake. I don't know.
There might be something there. I don't know.
What event originally caused AMOCO to partner with Invo? Was it the Super Bowl or the Revolutionary War? I'm not quite sure.
Or Y2K, which is closer to the Revolutionary War than you would think.
You probably are right, but I'm just going to take your word on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, let's see how many people got it right. We've got 22 answers in, and it says, yeah.
Nicely done.
Nasty, nasty C word. We're not even going to say it. All right. Moving right along to our next question. AMOCO used Invo to open a new branch location. And instead of 20 people, how many people did they need to hire? This was actually a stunning statistic. Yeah. We absolutely never thought that it would increase to 50 new employees.
Yeah.
Wait, what is an employee?
I don't know what an employee is. I don't even know what they're talking about.
What kind of questions are these? What kind of answers are these?
I didn't put this together. I did the interview.
You did the interview. Okay. All right. So you didn't do the questions. Yeah. Right.
Fantastic. Right. Only 5.
Only 5 people were required for an entire new branch.
New Bald Hope.
Good job. Good job.
Zane is on top now.
AMOCO's members find the most value in what specific product?
Every one of these is valuable.
Every one of them. But one of them specifically stands out. And it's probably like the backbone of everything.
It might be. It might be why we're even we started.
What are we talking through?
Something like that.
Yeah. Invo, something, banking. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There might be hints. Yes.
Yes.
Good job.
Good job. Invo Video Banking, that web platform is absolutely awesome.
So Tiny's making a move.
Tiny's making a move. What key needs of AMOCO was Invo able to solve? So what were they really focused on doing? Here we go. Let's see here. Is it reduced wait times?
I don't know.
Flexibility?
Improved privacy. That's good flexibility. Oh.
What kind of flexibility?
Yoga.
Touch your toes kind of flexibility?
100%.
I don't know. I'm not really good at yoga. Nope. Nope. All of the above and more. Yes, absolutely. So they were able to do all of those.
Oh, Zane. Sean is now on top.
Come on, Tiny James. I believe in you. All right, last question. Overall, what is the biggest win AMOCO has had with Invo? All of the above.
Yeah, well, that's not even an option.
Oh,
That's not
okay.
an option.
Virtual backgrounds?
Flex offices, reduced wait times. Some of these
I'm
are
gonna go with all of the above.
all of the above
All
would
of
be
the
good,
above
but
seems like a good option. Don't question my questions.
answering an answer that's not the answer. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, enhanced member and employee experience.
Nice
of course.
job, nice job.
Yes.
All right, let's see who, Zane.
Zane back.
Zane is on top. Let's see if he can keep that. We are absolutely excited to see if you can keep that. So one of the really cool things about what AMOCO is doing is they are in the process of actually moving over to our brand new version of our software. Our newest version is we call it 4.6, which is going to be the latest and the greatest for quite a while. And we are excited for everybody to see it. So if you are an existing customer, make sure that you are getting on the schedule to get that upgrade as soon as possible, because some of the functionality we're going to show you today is actually only available on 4.6. So if you're not a current customer of ours, you're going to be able to see how you can do all kinds of things directly from what we call our widget on your website. So I'm going to let Andrew talk a little bit more about the widget, but if you have any questions, by all means, reach out to us and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Kind of to piggyback on some of the things that AMOCO was able to present to us is one of the reasons, or one of the ways that we want to be able to engage and involve you to be able to engage with your customers and members is to cut down the friction. And one of the ways we do that is through our Invo widget. Now, widget is just a term that we use because it's something that we can place on your website. So as you can see here, our second favorite financial institution, Invo Financial, you can figure out number one if you want to later on, but whatever, is down here in the bottom right-hand corner is a little icon. And this is our Invo widget. Now this icon can be placed anywhere within your website. It can be on the bottom left, it can be upper right, wherever you'd like to be. But what this does is this enables all of our channels that Invo provides to be accessed from the website. And so you can start a chat, you can start a video banking, you can start a voice call, you can opt in to text messaging and actually receive text through this after you opt in. You can schedule a meeting, and you can also even initiate a co-browsing session with an agent directly from this widget. Now, what makes this unique is that you're not tied to just that first initial entry point. So for example, if I start a chat and we get to going on what we're looking at and I'm asking some questions, and then it gets to the point where it's like, man, I just need to meet with someone face to face. I really need to transition this from a chat to a video banking call. Well, guess what? Through the Invo widget, you absolutely can do that. So one of the things that we want to really pump up is that no matter what entry point you have, your exit point could be different. So you can start a chat and then transition to a video banking call. You can start a voice call and transition to a video banking call. You can start a co-browsing with an agent, then you can go to chat, and then you can go to video call. So all these different avenues of being able to start conversations and then end up wherever you need to be. So you can start a chat, and then you can opt in via text and continue that conversation via SMS. All of those ways are being able to be handled on the Invo platform, and it's very, very convenient for the agent or the member to actually be able to continue those conversations going both ways. Now, we want to kind of focus in on one or two of those ways today. So we're going to actually focus on scheduling, because we want to tie that back into a lot of the things that AMOCO mentioned as well, which is their in-branch solutions. And so first of all, on scheduling, we want to be able to see some information right up front so that we don't have to gain that information or get that information when the call is actually started or when the scheduled appointment is started. So first of all is language. If your institution offers multiple languages, you would have a drop down here that shows every language that's available for your staff to be able to handle. So we're going to go ahead and stay with English there. And then also you have an option of selecting what we would call a queue, or basically your reason for wanting to do your visit. So we have a few options here. I'm going to pick auto loan on here. And as you can see, then it populates the ways or the channel that you can actually connect via that actual queue or that reason that you want to visit. So the first one, auto loan, you can actually do it in person or a phone call. So we're limiting it on the back end to just those two types of interaction types. Now, if I change it though to maybe say, oh, I want to apply for a loan. Now we're getting different versions of that or different ways to interact. You can do a video banking call right now. You can actually do an in-branch video, or you can schedule a call for later. And so we're going to go ahead and do an in-branch video call. So I want to be able to go to a certain space or place or a branch and actually do a video interaction with your tellers or with your agents. So we go ahead and click next. Now it's all about location. So we show you a map, a really cool thing of where these things are. And so we've got some branches in Jeff City. We've also got some in Springfield and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and select the Jeff City branch. It shows exactly where we are down here. And that way we can go ahead and move on. Then we go back to the selection of days. And so when do we actually want to meet? This shows you the availability. So let's say that you had a company holiday on one of these days. One of those days we blocked off completely. They don't have any kind of interactions or any kind of meetings there. But since we like meetings, we're going to go ahead and select a Friday meeting at 4 p.m., which is everyone's absolute favorite, to actually apply for a loan. And once we get to that location, we're actually going to put information in on who I am and what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and so I'm going to say Gandalf the Grey.
You gotta spell it right.
Yeah, I do. The Grey is actually doing this. I'm going to put my email address in here because of confirmation. Oh boy.
You're on the spot, see?
Absolutely. And then I have also down here is what my phone number is, and it's optional. So one of the great things about our widget is there's customization that you can do. So we made on this particular instance of our widget, we made the email mandatory. You had to put an email in there, but you don't have to put your phone number. You can flip-flop that. You can make them both required, all kinds of things like that. And then, of course, if you want to put any additional details for this meeting, you can. So making sure that Gandalf, you know, make sure you shall not pass.
Okay.
Okay.
You've overdone it.
I've done it a
You've
little bit.
overdone
Okay,
it.
you shall not pass. But okay, now it's actually sending me an email confirmation. This confirmation is coming directly to my email that I input in earlier, and it's actually telling me, hey, I want to make sure who you are and make sure you verify you, so that way this is not a bot that's trying to spam our system, all kinds of things like that. And once I get that, it actually looks through and notices my email address in the back end and says, hey, you've already got 2 other appointments scheduled. One of them is in Jeff City, one's in this branch. Do you want to cancel these? Actually, yeah, I want to cancel this one. I don't want to do that one, but I want to continue on with the other one. So that one has been canceled. I want to go ahead and keep this one. Then it gets me to my summary page. If I had anything in here that was wrong, spelled my name wrong, or picked the wrong location, I could always go back and correct that information. But then, once we're done, we're going to go ahead and approve this appointment. And I get an email saying this appointment is done, and we're all good to go. Now, one of the things is, I want to make sure and mention, this is a very, very light look into our widget functionality and the overall functionality of Invo. And so if you have any additional questions, or if you have, hey, I'd like to see a little bit more here, please contact James or I, and we'd love to actually set up a meeting with you to be able to go through all of those additional questions and details you'd like.
Absolutely. And we are going to have all of this information down in the resource tab on your browser right now inside Zoom. So make sure that you go out there, check out all the links that are in there. We're going to have a boatload of information down there, so make sure you don't miss that. We also have a small event coming up in the fall.
What is that?
I believe it's called the Summit.
Oh,
The
that
Summit.
thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
just
have
very small.
so much fun at the Summit. You are going to want to make sure that you have it on your calendar. We've currently got it scheduled for October 8th. So make sure that you have it on your calendar. We are going to have an absolute blast. This year's event is going to be like any other. We're actually going to do it live streamed.
Live streamed.
Directly from
So like
Studio
this, like it's going to be live. It's going to be great.
But you get presents
Yes.
and gifts and all kinds of fun. So to see a little bit about what the Summit looked like last year, I think we're going to show you a video.
The Invo Summit is very valuable. You get to hear from the team. You get to know your Invo team, not to mention the colleagues, hearing how they're doing things and getting some ideas of what we should do.
It's a win-win, literally. We have prizes. So there's all kinds of things that you can win. And then you're going to win from a business standpoint too. Being able to make those connections, networking with great people, and then you're able to share some of your wins from your financial institution as well.
The Invo Summit to me is an opportunity to hear how our customers are using our platform because we want to hear from them, their success stories. We want to lead through that and help them help their customers and members and be able to showcase how we're doing and also showcase our team doing that for them.
Oh, that was a great time.
Yes,
Love
I
that.
absolutely love that. We can't wait for you to be back with us this year. Once again, remember October 8th, we are going to absolutely have all the information you need in the show notes and in the resource tab. So make sure that you sign up, get registered, and because we are going to have an absolute blast.
Yeah.
So let's find out who can bring home, if Zane can bring home that top spot. Step stool?
I don't know.
I'm going to assume that's a
I'm
crack
assuming-
at being short. Yes.
yeah, maybe.
It's always
It's
something.
Tiny James and
Tiny
Step Stool.
James
That's
and Step Stool. All right, let's find out how many people are still awake and how many people were listening. What channel is not available on the Invo widget?
not available. That's the key word
I
here.
don't even know what I'm looking at.
That's
I
amazing.
Can't imagine
I love
who
it.
created that.
We have looked at Invo carrier pigeons, but the
It's not
logistics are just not good.
happening. Nope, not happening.
Oh, Step Stool in the lead.
Step Stool. Shame on you, Step Stool. I'm hearing cheers.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know. That's-
terrifying.
yeah.
All right, if you want the Invo widget and its functionality, what version of the Invo platform do you need to be on? The oldest. At least the oldest isn't the James version.
That's true. Well,
They're separate.
well, it might
Yeah,
be
no.
similar. I
Watch
don't
your
know.
mouth. Watch
The
your
latest version. Get to 4.6.
Respect
Love
your
it.
elders. All right, Step Stool is still in that top
Yes.
spot.
Taking a lead.
Can you start a conversation in chat and move directly into a video call? True or false?
True or false?
Let's see how many. 22 people got it right.
That was fast too,
wow.
man.
One person
Gotta make these
had no
questions
clue
harder.
what they were doing. All right,
All right, Sean. This you're
come on,
you,
Sean.
You got
Let's
two
see
more.
it.
Let's go.
What is the Invo Summit? I might have said it a few times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, this might be tricky.
You snake! I swear, I don't know who did that, but people.
Yes, we've knocked some people
are
down.
crying. Oh, you just really.
Oh, Sean
Take
prevailed.
that, Step Stool. Ha ha! That's what you get. All right.
Last question here.
The Invo Summit is a what? A party.
Apparently, it's live.
Live.
That might be.
It might be live.
It
this
might be
year.
live.
It's
That's
going to be
one of the
live.
answers. Which one is it though? Yeah,
Yes,
live streamed event.
live
We're
streamed
so
event.
excited about this. It's gonna
We
be so much
are
fun.
excited. So
All right.
make sure you bring all your people.
All right,
because
Sydney, third
Sydney,
place. Very good. Way to
Good
get your
job,
podium.
Sydney.
And Zane,
Zane,
almost 14 to
almost.
15, but the winner is
Dun 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 dun. Who is it?
Sean. Yeah! Way to go,
There's
Sean.
confetti everywhere.
I've looked forward to this forever.
Yes, this is
fantastic.
just for hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have made an absolute
Yeah.
mess.
Bet your
of
Studio
our
A doesn't
entire
let you do
area.
this.
Yeah. No, only in this Studio A can you absolutely make a mess with confetti. So,
Absolutely.
congratulations, Sean. Make sure that you reach out to me. I will get you all squared away with your brand new Yeti
Yes.
cooler. We are excited to do that. And once again, make sure you check out the show notes. Make sure you check out the resource tab. There's going to be all kinds of information about AMOCO, about Hope, about the summit. If you need anything, by all means, reach out to me. This was a lot of fun.
It was.
I mean,
I had
you're
a
not
blast.
you're not Hope, but
That's
I guess
true.
you'll do. So, you know,
A solid B plus.
solid B plus.
I love it. Thank you so much, Insiders, and can't wait to see you at the summit.
Yeah, at the summit. Until next time. Night night.
Let's go.